Okay, we'll call our meeting to order. If I can have everybody's attention. I'll start off with roll call. Nick? Yannicka? Donna?
Here.
Bob?
Here.
Mel?
Here.
And myself, Dale. Are there any members of the committee that have a conflict of interest with any of the applications today? Seeing not. And we need ratification of the minutes of the last meeting. Is there a mover? Yannicka, seconded by Robert. All in favor? Opposed, if any? Seeing none, that motion is carried. Was there any other business, Justin, before we start? I guess the first application is 9:45.
Yes,
correct?
the first application will be at 9:45 a.m. and I'll note that Sebastian is not here. Yeah, so we'll wait till 9:45 a.m.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Yep, through the chair, yeah, it's 9:45 a.m. So we'll hear the first application. It is it's a minor variance application, A2026-00208, 64 North Oval, Hamilton. Owner is A. Filion. Applicant is J. Vanderland. Agent is the same person. Was there any members of the public who wish to speak on this application, either here in the meeting room or on WebEx? Okay, seeing none, I'll ask the applicant or agent, please step forward. Please provide your name and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Hi, yes, my name is Andre Filion. I'm the owner of the property. And well, we are looking for a minor variance. We'd like to put a small addition onto the back of the house. And the minor variance is needed in order to put in order to add this addition so that we get a main floor, a floor bathroom on the house. It's important to have a main floor bathroom in case someone gets has an accident and breaks their leg or something. We have a neighbor who broke their leg and was immobile for about six months, and it made it very difficult living in a Westdale house. So that's why when we designed this addition, we wanted to put in a main floor bathroom.
Okay, thank you. Does the committee have any questions?
Are you okay with the change of the variance 1 to where it reached today?
Sorry, I didn't hear that, sir.
Are you okay with the variance 1 being adjusted for?
I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. Am I okay with the
If I
variance?
could, yeah, through the chair, if it's okay, I'll clarify. Yes, as you're aware, the staff comments were posted on the website, and in it, the development planning, it was they recommend approval, but they recommend revising the wording for variance 1. So I believe the committee members just asking if you're aware of that or if you had any issues related to that. Thank you.
I looked at all the documents that was sent, and
The only thing they changed was they put the west side yard in there where it wasn't
oh,
there.
I see. Yes, that's
Okay.
perfectly fine. It should have been the
Okay.
west side.
In that case, I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion made by Mel, seconded by Nick. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, motion carried. Application approved.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time on this.
The next application will be heard at 9:50 a.m. Thank you. Okay, it's now 9:50 a.m. Next, we have a minor variance application, A2026-00236, 138 Herkimer Street, Hamilton. Owner is Lee Wen Holding Limited, J. Wang, and applicant is TU. Is there any members of the public who wish to speak on this application, either here in the meeting room or on WebEx? Okay, seeing none, I'll ask the applicant or agent, please step forward. Please provide your name, and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Chair and committee members. My name is Tony Yu. Here we have the owner of 138 140 Herkimer Street regarding minor rights application A 2026-00236. And thanks for allowing me to bring back this property to the committee. September 4th, 2025, the committee approved the minor rights application A25-152, permitting the conversion of the former residential care facility into a 20-unit multiple dwellings. The current application represents a very limited change to that approval. We are proposing one additional dwelling unit, bring the total from 20 units to 21 units. The additional unit will create entirely through internal alteration. There will be no addition to the building, no increase to the building height, and no change to the building massing and setback. The 8 rear parking space will continue to access from the existing rear laneway, and no additional rear yard pavement to be proposed. The existing paved area will remain, and the parking layout will simply just repaint to use. This means there will be no new paving or loss of landscaping in the rear yard. The main concern is the additional parking pad at the front yard, besides west neighborhood. The proposed front yard space is intended specifically for the short-term service and will not be assigned to regular tenant parking space. This parking space can keep available for drop-by visitors, package delivery, food delivery, and moving vehicle. It will be very practical for 21 units residential building. Without this short-term space, delivery and moving vehicle may stop the traveling on the street and double parking and may obstruct the traffic. Front parking arrangement is also consistent with local streetscape. The neighbor's property at 142, 144, 146, 150, etc. Basically, all the property on this street has a comparable driveway and curb cut driveway. Our proposal just follow this established local parking pattern and will therefore remain compatible with the character of this portion of Herkimer Street. The present proposal just add one unit, will add in 1 parking space and 1 visitor parking space. It does not create a new or substantially different parking condition. Instead, it improved the condition that was previously approved. No loading space was a variance in the previous committee decision. But we still hope to seek this loading parking space available for the building. The property located in an established central neighborhood with convenient access to transit, working, cycling route, employment, shop, and community service. It's reasonable to expect that the parking space at the front yard can serve better to the subject building. So in our opinion, the application satisfies the 4 tests for minor variance. It maintains the intent of the official plan by making efficient use of the existing building and providing an additional dwelling unit within the existing urban area. It maintained the intent of the zoning bylaw because the multiple dwelling use has already been approved, and the proposed parking arrangement provides functional parking and access without expanding the rear paved area. It's desirable for the appropriate development of the property because it creates additional house unit with no change to the building or its appearance will also improve the on-site parking supply. So overall, the variance are minor, and its impact are also minor. The proposal involves only one additional dwelling unit, internal building alteration, 2 additional parking space, and no expansion of the rear parking area. It will not create an unacceptable impact on the neighbor's property or alter the established character of the street. For those reasons, we respectfully hope that committee approve this application, subject to any appropriate condition. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any question.
Okay, thank you. Does the committee have any questions on this application? Robert?
The proposed parking space out front, I'm kind of having mixed feelings about it. Is it a parking spot or is it for a loading spot? What is the main reason for it?
Well, yeah, the actual parking pad at the front yard, we just designed for this building for all the tenants use, like temporary parking for the food delivery, package delivery, just in case that there's no parking space at front or rear. But the delivery guy need to send the package to the building. So this building will remain all time empty for the temporary parking only, not the permanent parking for the tenant.
Because I don't like putting a lot of faith in Google Maps, but it kind of conflicts the notice of a loading dock because there's a perlator truck parked right out front of your building. And obviously it could be making a delivery, but I think there's enough room on the street for offloading or deliveries, et cetera, et cetera. My concern is the parking spot where, yes, there is a few around the neighborhood, but there's going to be a substantial loss of landscaping to the front of your building. And I have some reservations regarding that.
Well, yeah, actually the landscaping is not one of variance requests in this application. In our zoning review shows that we comply with the landscaping area. And even we deduct the driveway, we still have like around 46% of the landscaping area in the front yard. The package, because we just worry that someone will block the parking space, and the package, the delivery guy cannot deliver their stuff and make like a double parking on the street, block all the traffic. Yeah, consider this situation. We hope that this parking pad can serve better for the temporary parking.
Are you okay with that, Robert? City doesn't seem to have an issue with the reduced green space.
No, I agree that it is reduced, but I'm just looking at the remainder of the neighborhood that some, not all, have driveways, but they're single-story houses or single houses, dual, second, 2-story. I just don't know if it's the right fit for this multi-use building to have parking out front.
Okay. Any other committee members have any questions or concerns? If not, is there a motion? Nick? Okay, just turn your mic on when you're. There we go.
Someone helped me out. I'd like to make a motion to approve this application.
Okay, moved by Nick. Is there a seconder? Yannicka, all in favor? Opposed? That's 3 opposed. So that motion is denied. Is there another motion? Okay. So on that basis, on that,
Is there another motion? Chair, I don't know, would there be another motion on the floor then?
I'd make a motion.
so just because that motion was turned down, we either need an alternate to that motion or denial
Or possibly to table it to the chair.
or tabling.
Yeah.
If we table it, I don't know if that's going to create the right scenario because it's either a parking spot or it's not. It's going to be hard to justify that there. The other concern was the letter attached and the public comments from the entire neighborhood. And I can't determine how many of those people that agreed with the letter, whether they have their existing driveways or not. But I just personally don't feel this is a good fit for a single parking spot in front of the 3-story building here, so.
Would the agent wish to table it at this point in time and see if you can alternate in some way or have discussion with the city on a change possibly?
Yeah, are we able just looking for the 21 unit if the front parking spot is not possible? It's not terrible. Just actual additional unit in the basement. So
I think right now, I'd like to make a motion to deny the application.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor for denial by Robert, seconded by Mal. All in favor of denial?
I have a question.
Oh,
To staff or to someone. Can we approve variance 1 and deny variance 2 or remove variance 2? Is that?
okay. So that's a decision that the committee can make,
Okay,
whether okaying one variance and denying one variance.
one variance. Because I don't have a problem with the ones in the back. but
Can
I
you
do-
pull your mic down a little?
Sorry. Yeah, so, but it's number 2 that I have the problem with. So denying the whole thing, I don't know as I would want to deny the whole thing, but removing number 2, that would be mine. So I guess with the motion on the floor, I wouldn't agree with it. is
Okay,
basically.
so planning has a comment first.
So through the chair, I just wanted to mention variance number 2 is specific to the maneuvering requirements for a parking space versus the parking space being
That's right.
permitted in the front yard. So
Mhm.
if you were contemplating the rear yard parking spaces, a potential compromise maybe would be to revise the second variance so that the maneuvering space wouldn't be required for the rear yard spaces as well. Because if you deny the entirety of the second variance,
Okay.
the applicant still wouldn't be able to implement their plan. So just wanted to provide that.
That's, yeah.
Emily probably has more.
Through the chair, Emily, co-manager of zoning and committee of adjustment. I just want to note that that front yard parking space is also not required. It's kind of excess because they have a previous variance to allow no visitor parking. So this visitor parking space that's in the front yard is not technically required. So if it's removed, then there's no issue with that. They wouldn't need the variance for the maneuvering off-site for that particular parking space. So that's another option, is that that parking space is completely removed from the site plan. That variance is modified to say that the reduced maneuvering space is only for the rear yard, and then the other ones can carry forward.
Okay.
Robert, do you want to revise your motion or?
I'll just withdraw the motion.
Okay, is that okay with the seconder? Okay, so that motion is withdrawn.
Okay.
Donna,
So then we can put in, we would adjust number 2 to say the space itself is not required, but we'll keep the maneuvering, oh, I don't have my, we'll keep the maneuvering for the rear yard.
Through the chair, that's correct. And then variance 1 would also need to be modified to require 8 parking spaces instead of 21.
Okay.
Because you're removing that front yard parking space.
Okay.
I would also just flag that once this property is brought into our comprehensive zoning bylaw 05200, no parking will be required for this property at all. So
Okay.
if you want to contemplate that in your decision about that further reduction in parking.
Okay. So we can keep the 8 spots, but require maneuvering.
Through the chair, that's correct. So variance 1 would be to permit 8 parking spaces,
Yeah.
and variance 2 would be no on-site maneuvering for the 8 parking spaces.
No on-site maneuvering.
Yeah, reference to the second portion of the variance in variance 2 that connects to the front yard can be removed. So you can say no on-site maneuvering shall be provided for 8 parking spaces located within the rear. Instead of the minimum required 6-meter maneuvering aisle width.
Okay.
So you just, you can just remove the reference to the 1 space in the front yard, if you're thinking that way.
Okay, so, and 1, so remove and within the rear yard, and then remove and 1 parking space located within the front yard?
Through the chair, yeah, I would keep, so it would read, number 2 would read, no on-site maneuvering shall be provided for 8 parking spaces located within the rear yard.
Right.
Then remove the following wording, and 1 parking space located in the front yard. So you're just removing that and 1 parking space located in the front yard, because we're not referring to that anymore.
Okay.
So you still want to make reference that the 8 parking spaces located within the rear yard, just so it ties it to that.
Okay.
Just so everybody's clear, there is 8 parking spots in the backyard.
Through the chair, that's correct, but the variance is written to include that front yard parking space for 9. So that's why the first one needs to be changed, because if we're moving that one in the front yard,
That's where I'm going.
yeah, that's why they need 8. So you'll see the first one refers to 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it should go to 8 spots.
Correct.
Minimum. Okay, so let me see if I've got this right. Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion to,
just pull your mic down a little bit.
I'm gonna make a motion to amend number 1, or revise number 1. So it says a minimum of 8 parking spaces shall be provided. And then revise number 2 to say no on-site maneuvering shall be provided for the 8 parking spaces located within the rear yard.
Yeah.
I need to make this bigger. Removing and 1 parking space located within the front yard instead of the minimum required 6-meter maneuvering aisle width, and the requirement that a maneuvering space shall be provided and maintained on the lot. So, okay.
Okay. So that motion is made by Donna. Is there a seconder?
I think I can second that one.
Okay, Robert? All in favor of that motion? Opposed? 1 opposed? Motion is carried. Application is approved. I hope the agent is okay with, we're trying to work with it and try and make it work for you. And
Oh, appreciate. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for all the effort.
okay,
Thank you.
Okay, it is now 10 a.m. The next application is a minor variance, A 2026-00255, 85 to 87 Catherine Street North. Owner is Caniff Group 1926 Acquisitions Corporation. Applicant is Caniff Group K. Freeman. Is there any members of the public who wish to speak on this application, either here in the meeting room or on WebEx? Okay, seeing none, I will ask the applicant or agent, please step forward, please provide your name, and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, members of the committee. My name is Kevin Freeman. I'm Director of Planning and Development for Caniff Group. I'm here before you today with a request to permit a modest extension to our existing commercial parking lot to include the lands located at 85 Catherine Street North. For the reasons outlined in my cover letter, I believe that this variance satisfies the 4 tests under Section 45 of the Planning Act. To provide some context, we're the owners of the adjacent property at 80 John Street North, where we have maintained a commercial parking operation for many years without issue. The requested variance is to facilitate a minor extension of this existing operation to include the property at 85 Catherine Street. We filed an application for site plan approval for the existing parking lot at 80 John Street North, and we are proposing to redevelop the site for high-density mixed-use purposes in accordance with the city's official plan and zoning for downtown Hamilton. Our acquisition of 85 Catherine Street is part of our concerted effort to assemble and consolidate this block and extend the development limits of our site plan application, which will ultimately allow us to introduce a consistent urban streetscape along Catherine Street. Until we're in a position to move forward with construction, the plan is to maintain the existing commercial parking lot. Visually, the proposed extension of parking has no impact on the streetscape. The lot has been paved and is maintained in good condition. The alternative would have left the site likely overgrown with weeds with a fence around the perimeter of the lot, which would not have been complementary to the Catherine Street frontage. We have recognized that there is an ongoing need for public parking in the downtown to support local businesses and especially development activity. We have recently been approached by several developers, including our neighbor to the south at 71 Rebecca Street, with requests to utilize parking spaces to support construction activity. This minor extension to our existing lot will address this need and alleviate temporary road occupancies and demand for street parking. Ultimately, parking is a major factor in determining whether high-density projects move forward, and parking comes with a high cost and high demand, and the availability of off-site parking is certainly a factor when evaluating development opportunities. To summarize, we are of the opinion that this request is minor, given the limited nature of the request and the absence of adverse impacts. I would like to just share a brief presentation that I've prepared just with a few slides, just to provide the committee with an understanding of the existing condition and what is proposed for our site. Just share my screen here.
No, just give me a moment. I'll share it. Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
you do realize the comments from staff were recommending denial.
Yes, I have had a chance to review the comments from staff. Okay, so this shows our existing parking operation at 80 John Street and the minor extension of that lot to include the property at 85 Catherine Street North. We were able to accommodate about 18 additional parking spaces. If you can go to the next slide, please. This is a view from the streetscape, or from the street from 85 Catherine Street. This shows that there's a seamless integration of the parking with our existing commercial lot. I would like to note that an additional variance is required to provide a 0-meter planting strip abutting a street, whereas a 3-meter planting strip is required. As you can see from the street view here, there is an existing 6-foot landscape buffer between the edge of the paving and the edge of the sidewalk. This landscape buffer is within the city's right-of-way and will be maintained in perpetuity. If you can go to the next slide, please. This is just a high-level concept plan showing how we've started to envision how we can incorporate the property at 85 Catherine Street with our ultimate development plans for the balance of the site. This shows a stacked townhouse product along Catherine Street, which will introduce a more urban and contemporary frontage along Catherine. If you go to the next slide, please. This is just another iteration of that same plan, just introducing a mid-rise component along Catherine Street to introduce more urban and contemporary street frontage. I think there's one more slide there. If you can just go to the last slide, please. This is a rendering of the streetscape from Catherine Street that we included with our site plan application. This again shows a very urban streetscape along Catherine Street, which is as envisioned by the city's official plan and the zoning for downtown Hamilton. We are proposing to amend our application to ultimately include 87 Catherine Street North. And this treatment here that you see with the showing a stacked townhouse product is an example of how we can introduce a more urban and contemporary street frontage. And this will be extended to include the property at 87 Catherine Street North. And that is the end of my presentation. Those are my submissions. I'd be happy to answer any questions that the committee members might have.
Okay, to the committee, Mel?
Can we hear from staff on this? Because they're recommending denying it.
Through the chair, it's staff's position that this application doesn't meet the 4 tests of a minor variance. The official plan and downtown secondary plan is clear. Minor extensions are permitted for existing at-grade commercial parking facilities. However, extensions, additional parking spaces being added to those parking lots are not permitted. The fact that a landscape buffer is also not being included is also an issue and does not meet the intent of the secondary plan. Although like staff recognize the long-term plans for development of the site and we can support the intensification and urbanization of the area, the extension of an existing commercial facility is not appropriate and doesn't meet our policies. As we've mentioned before to this committee, if you fail one of the 4 tests, we have to recommend denial. So it doesn't meet the first test, so staff are not supportive of the application.
Okay, thank you. Any other committee members for the question, Robert?
Just going back to the notes that were filed by the staff, I picked up this paragraph. It is staff's opinion that a zoning bylaw amendment application is the appropriate mechanism to facilitate the proposed development. And then staff recommended the request of variance be denied. So here we are.
Any comments from the agent?
If it would, if the committee would consider permissions for a temporary period to allow the parking extension for, say, 5 years, that's something that we would be willing to accept. As I mentioned, we have filed a site plan application for our site. We understand that a commercial parking lot is not the highest and best use for this site. It is for high density mixed use purposes, which we are intent on. We do have every intention on developing the site for that purpose. I think that there is great value in having parking within downtown Hamilton for the time being, as the properties around us continue to redevelop. There's several properties that are going under construction right now. The construction of those buildings will require workers, obviously, and those workers need somewhere to park. There is a need for this in downtown Hamilton, especially while our neighbors to the south at 71 Rebecca Street, I understand they're starting construction sometime Q1 next year. They've expressed interest to us to occupy some of the parking spaces on our lot. And I think it will alleviate a lot of the pressures that they will experience with having to accommodate parking for their workers, potential road occupancies and potential, street parking demand. I know it's limited in this location. So we would be willing to amend our application to allow for permissions for a temporary period if the committee would be willing to consider that.
Is that something, Mel?
Can the staff respond to that?
Through the chair, that's a solution that staff cannot support. It's not supported by the secondary plan. The test in the Planning Act is not whether an application can provide parking for future developments. There is parking downtown. The city is encouraging parking downtown in parking facilities. So as these developments occur, the parking in the podium or underground will be available for parking in the downtown area. So the expansion of at-grade, exposed, no buffer parking area, even for a temporary time, does not meet the intent of the policies. So unfortunately, staff cannot support that.
Any further comments from committee members?
The information you had on the screen there with the elevation showing the elevation along Catherine Street, you show the 2 existing residential units there on your drawing with the proposed around it, but the one building is gone. That's been removed already. So I'm not trying to read between the lines here, but I think at this point, based on staff's comments and the fact that the bylaw goes forward with no new commercial parking lots on grade, that make a motion to deny the application.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor for denial from Robert, seconded by Nick. All in favor of that motion? Opposed? One opposed? So that motion is carried and application is denied.
Okay, next we have, it's now 10:28, sorry, 10:22 a.m. Next, we have a minor variance application, A2026-00131, 715 Upper James Street North. Sorry, 715 Upper James Street, Hamilton. Owner is Starchitect Consulting and Construction Incorporated. R. Yusuf. Applicant is Design Plan. And service applicant or agent, please step forward. Please provide your name and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, fellow committee members. I'm the agent for this application. My name is Addison Milne Price. I'm a registered professional planner employed at Design Plan Services. I'm here on behalf of the owner and appearing in the place of David Ekeman, who could not be here today.
Okay, do you have any questions on any of the comments that were from planning?
No, Mr. Chair. I've reviewed the report and I'm satisfied that we were able to find a solution that works for development planning.
Okay, committee, any questions? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the application.
Okay, motion made by Donna, seconded by Yannicka. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none. Motion carried. Application approved.
Thank you.
Okay, it is now 10:24 a.m. Next application is a minor variance application to A2026-00215, 631 Highway number 8, Flamborough. Owner is Jay Johnson. Applicant is R&R Designs Limited, Arcana. Agent is the same as the applicant. Are there any members of the public wish to speak on this application, either here in the meeting room or on WebEx? Okay, seeing none, I'll ask the applicant or agent, please step forward and please provide your name and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you. Are they here? Arcana, are you here? I don't know if maybe staff, Committee of Adjustment staff, and maybe we'll reach out to them. See if they, through the chair, did you want to wait? Oh, are they?
There's 2 people.
Oh, okay. Hi, are you here for 631 Highway 8?
No.
No, okay.
Lady just brought us in.
Oh, okay, okay, you're for the next one, okay. Through the chair, did you want us to wait for the applicant or agent, or did you want to?
Can we, I mean, there's favorable comments, but do you want to stand that one down and see if they come back online?
Yeah, it's up to the committee. Yeah, we'll try to contact them and we could bring it back later if you wanted. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's
So
move
we'll
to the
put a
next one.
hold, we'll put a hold on this application and staff will be, we'll try to contact the agent or the applicant or agent right now. Okay. It's now 10:26 a.m. Next application is a minor variance, A2026-00233. 147 Highway number 8, Flamborough. Owner is K. Vey and K. Vey, and the applicant is the same 2 people as well. Is there any members of the public wish to speak on this application? Either here in the meeting room or on WebEx. Okay, seeing none, I'll ask the applicant or agent, please step forward. Please provide your name and you have 5 minutes to speak.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kelly Vey, my wife Kim behind us. We,
Just pull your mic down a little.
okay,
Yep, perfect.
okay. We're here for minor variance on overheight issue and little bit extra large space on the addition that we put on the back of our barn. So we put in all the information that was requested. What happened was had a backfield, had a barn, existing barn, and the roof had been leaking for many, many years. Fixed it once, it leaked again because the slope of the roof was very, very low. So when COVID hit and I was home, I thought, well, I'd create, complete 2 birds with 1 stone and fix the roof line on the existing barn. And at the same time, put some storage space on the back of the barn. So I did that while I wasn't working, and I didn't realize that I was overheight and making a situation out of zoning for my area. So that's why we're here. It was just in my backfield. There's nothing there, just flat ground. Neighbors have a tree line along their property. We didn't take down any trees. We didn't do anything. We just added to the back of the barn. And this is kind of the situation where we're at, and hoping that we can, carry on with completing the addition.
Okay, Mel?
Did you get a chance to look at the conditions that was offered?
I beg your pardon, sir?
Did you get a chance to see the conditions from the city?
Yes.
Are you okay with those conditions?
You mean the pages that were coming back, or I'm not sure I understand what you're asking.
Pros conditions for recommended from the planning department, the city.
When I applied for the building permit, you mean?
No,
Oh, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
just through the chair, yes, there are, when, every application, when we get it, we notify the public about the meeting.
Okay.
But at the same time, we also circulate it to the staff.
Oh, okay.
Different staff for their comments.
Right.
And usually a week before the meeting, the staff comments are posted on the website, and I believe we would have emailed it to you.
Okay.
And staff are recommending approval with 2 conditions. So first one is that the owner submits and receives approval of a tree protection plan. And then the second, that the owner submit and receive approval of a landscape plan.
Okay. Yeah, the building's already built, so there was no trees there to begin with. No trees were removed from the property. So it's just a flat field. There's no landscaping involved with anything. It's in the back, very back 40 of the property. So there's nothing there. So I'm not sure what type of tree removal or anything study or what you're asking for.
What they're looking at, if you do remove any trees and that, you gotta be ready to replant them and,
I didn't, there was no trees
okay,
removed.
all right.
Yeah.
But those conditions are added to it, probably just standard. Is that right, staff?
Like I would hope that you guys hopefully can, you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Good morning, Spencer Skidmore, Acting Manager, Development Planning, East Team. So for this item, I believe our natural heritage planner provided comments and said that because there is trees on the property, that during construction, they should be protected. And if there is trees that are removed, they should be replaced at a 1-for-1 ratio, hence the conditions for the tree protection plan and the landscape plan. I'm not sure if it was appreciated that the structure was already built. So if it's already built,
Yes.
and it's there and there's no further expansion of the footprint,
Nothing.
then that might be something that we could consider removing in this instance.
Oh, that would be terrific. I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure if either one of the conditions are necessary because it's already constructed and there
Yes.
was no trees removed.
Not a single one.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve with those 2 conditions removed.
Robert?
Second.
Okay, all right. So motion made by Mel and seconded by Robert. All in favor of that motion? Opposed? Seeing none, motion carried, application approved.
Oh, thank you very much.
So those
Appreciate it.
2 conditions were removed.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate your
Oh,
time.
they were removed. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, just through the chair, just for future note to the applicant, once the staff comments are posted,
Okay.
you should review them. And if you have any questions, you can always let us know
Okay.
before the meeting. And no, it's understood. Yeah, just for,
I hope
possible
to never
future
have to do
reference.
this again.
Yeah. No. It's fine.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, thanks.
Is that it?
Yes, that's
Okay.
it.
You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Next, it is 10:32 a.m. And we have a minor variance application, A2026-00252-358 King Street West, Dundas. Owner is E. Esco. Applicant is Pam Alliance Limited, P. Azizi. Are there any members of the public who wish to speak on this application, whether it be in the meeting room or on WebEx? Okay, seeing none, I'll ask the applicant or agent, please step forward. Please provide your name, and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Paul Magazizi with PAM Alliance, and I'm the applicant on behalf of the owner at 358 King Street West. Based on the CDS staff report, we would like to request the application be tabled and brought back to Committee of Adjustment on October 8th. I'll meet with the CDS staff to review the project and make improvements as much as we can in order to address their concerns. And I look forward to returning to Committee of Adjustment in October with some modifications. I appreciate your time and consideration.
Okay, thank you. So is there a motion for tabling? Donna?
Sorry, I'll motion forward to table the
Okay,
application.
seconded by Yannicka. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, motion carried. Application is tabled.
Thank you.
And thank you, and through the chair to the applicant, we will be in touch with you just in terms of next steps for how to proceed. Okay, thank you. Okay, it's now 10:34 a.m. And we have a minor variance application, A2026-00263, 24 Hoover Crescent, Hamilton. Owner is D. Eaton and C. Love. Applicant is J. Bognar. Agent is the same person. Is there any members of the public who wish to speak on this application, whether here in the meeting room or on WebEx? Okay, seeing none, I'll ask the applicant or agent, please step forward, please provide your name, and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Jenny Bogner here. I have looked over the staff comments and we're happy with their recommendation for approval. We've also seen the comments from all the neighbors and we do have a few letters of support as well. But I also have prepared a presentation if someone is able to get that going, please.
Okay, committee, any questions? Motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the application.
Moved by Donna, seconded by Robert. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, motion carried, application approved.
Thank you.
Okay, it's now 10:35 a.m. Next, we have a minor variance application, A2026-00234, 104 Bond Street, North, Hamilton. Owner is B. Moore, applicant is J. Bognar, and agent is the same person. Is there any members of the public who wish to speak on this application, either here in the meeting room or on WebEx? Okay. And again, yeah, the application number was A2026-00234. Okay, seeing none, seeing no members of the public here, I'll ask the applicant or agent, please step forward, please provide your name, and you have 5 minutes to speak.
Jenny Bogner again. Again, we're happy with staff's comments and recommendation for approval. And the owners have talked with all their neighbors and nobody has voiced any concerns with this.
Okay, thank you. Committee. Robert?
There's no other comments. Make a motion to approve with the conditions and notes.
Okay, moved by Robert, seconded by Donna. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, motion carried, application approved.
Thank you.
Okay, it is now 10:37 a.m. Next, we have a minor variance application, A2026-00248, 38 Jerseyville Road West, Ancaster. Owner is Jerseyville Lane Incorporated, E. Carabelli. Applicant is the same company. Agent is Urban Solutions Planning and Land Development Consultants Incorporated, M. Johnston. I believe development planning and development engineering may want to speak first. Let's see if they wanted to.
To the chair, to the committee, my name is Zivko Panovsky. I'm acting manager for the West team. Oh, hi, my name is Zivko Panovsky. I am acting manager with the West team and would like to update our comments with the following note as a comment. And we would like to say that within any future application of this for this property in severance section of the condo of the draft of condo, the owner shall demonstrate that any increase in lot coverage above 35% is supported by the owner demonstrating that there is a suitable storm outlet for the subject lands, including an adequate overall flow route and emergency spillway to the municipal right of way. Also confirming no negative impact on the adjacent properties. The applicant should also ensure that the storm management design is in accordance with the city comprehensive guidelines and drainage policy and city council direction to ensure the mitigation measures are implemented as per the recommendation of the Ancaster Drainage Study Phase 2. Subject to inclusion of this note into the CFA decision, we have no further comments on this application.
Okay.
Yeah, and through the chair, we just sent you an email that just outlines what Zivko just said as well. It was provided just, yeah, earlier. I don't know if development planning had anything.
No, no update from our perspective. Thank you.
Seeing that, we'll ask, is there, I believe we have some members of the public wish to speak on this application, so we'll go to them first. Allison Fisher, I believe. Is she here? Yeah. Okay, I just had two people here that we noted. There could be other people, that's fine. We had Maria D'Ambrosi and Allison Fisher. Okay. Yeah. Anyone wants to speak, just come up then. Yeah.
Excuse me, there's several of us.
No. If you heard what I just said, if other people want to speak, they can speak as well. Of course. Yeah.
Hopefully there's enough for everyone.
Sorry, excuse me, is that a presentation or a?
There's just a handout of the appendix, if that's okay.
That
was submitted, that was part of our written submission.
Okay, the committee would have had, okay. All right, just future notes, if there's any kind of presentation, please submit it to us prior to the meeting, okay? Okay.
Yeah, this is part of the written submission. It's just.
Okay.
I'll be close.
Okay.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay. Yeah, please provide your name and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Maria D'Ambrosi, and my husband and I live immediately beside the subject property at 48 Jerseyville Road West. Although we are appearing as adjacent residents, we are not speaking only for ourselves. We have had extensive discussions with neighbors along Jerseyville Road, including many outside the formal notice area, as well as other Ancaster residents. They share significant concerns about this proposal and have expressly asked us to speak on their behalf today. We want to be clear, we are not opposed to the redevelopment of 38 Jerseyville Road West. However, our collective position is that this 6-home proposal, together with the requested variances, is not minor, is not appropriate for this site, and is not compatible with the established character of the neighborhood. Ancaster is a historic part of Hamilton. Its character is defined by established streetscapes, mature trees, landscape properties, and homes that have an appropriate relationship with their surroundings. Jerseyville Road West is one of Ancaster's long-established main roads. Its mature streetscape is an integral part of this character and identity of Ancaster. So I have provided Appendix 1, which was also in our written submission, to provide clear visual context for that streetscape. As residents, we understand communities evolve. However, redevelopment should respect the established qualities that make a community distinctive. The proposal would place 6 residences, a private roadway, multiple driveways, and extensive hard surfaces on approximately 0.43 hectares. Our concern is the cumulative effect of 6 residences, reduced setbacks, greater building mass, common access, additional vehicle movements on an already busy road, especially during scroll periods, extensive hard surface coverage, and limited space for landscaping and screening, together with the servicing and drainage concerns addressed in the written submissions. In the appendix, figures 1A to 1C show the properties directly across from the subject property and immediately to its west and east side. These photographs demonstrate the prevailing character of Jerseyville Road West: detached homes with substantial front yards, mature landscaping, and meaningful separation between residences. This same established character continues both east and west along the road. The homes shown are set approximately 80 to 150 feet from the road. Our home is approximately 150 feet from the road, while even the existing home, which is also in the appendix at 38 Jerseyville Road, is approximately 80 to 100 feet from the road. By contrast, the proposal requests setbacks of only 3 or 4 meters, so approximately 10 to 13 feet. To put that in perspective, we are not comparing setbacks that are half or even a quarter of those shown along the street, the proposed setbacks would only be approximately 7 to 15% of the existing setbacks shown. This is not a minor adjustment. It is a dramatic departure from the established relationship between homes and the street. Setbacks are not simply empty space. They provide privacy, separation between homes, room for trees and landscaping, and any redevelopment should provide setbacks more consistent with the established streetscape and sufficient space for meaningful landscaping and effective privacy screening along the side and rear boundaries. It is also important to provide some context regarding neighborhood communication. After the developer purchased the property last year, and especially after the substantial tree clearing that occurred at the property shortly afterward, residents contacted the developer to understand what was being considered for the property. They were advised that there were no plans and the developer declined invitations to meet. As recently as 2 months ago, residents again contacted the developer and were again told there were no plans, only weeks later to receive notice of the 6-home proposal. We recognize the developer is entitled to pursue redevelopment and was not required to consult directly with neighbors. We do not raise this as a procedural complaint. However, earlier dialogue is good planning practice and could have identified these concerns and provided an opportunity to explore other designs. That opportunity still exists. We believe there is a reasonable alternative. We would support, or at minimum not object to, the consideration of 3 detached bungalows with setbacks more consistent with the neighboring homes. This would still represent substantial redevelopment from 1 home to 3, while providing more green space, greater separation, and better opportunities for landscaping, screening, and stormwater management. In conclusion, the requested variances are not minor when their cumulative effect is considered in the context of this property and the established streetscape. The position we are presenting today reflects the shared concerns of neighbors and other Ancaster residents who care deeply about Jerseyville Road and about preserving the character of Ancaster while allowing reasonable and responsible redevelopment. We respectfully ask the committee not to approve the requested variances in their present form. We believe a substantially less intensive proposal would better balance the owner's interests with the established character of the neighborhood and the concerns of its residents. Thank you for your consideration.
Okay, thank you. Next, and this is just on our list, people we had. So it was Allison Fisher. Did you want to speak next, or? Okay, did she want to speak later? Okay, do you want to come up then? Okay, all right. Please provide your name and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and members of the committee. My name is Sandra D'Ambrosio, and my wife and I live at 48 Jerseyville Road, immediately west of the subject property. In addition to the concerns already raised, I would like to address the sanitary sewer capacity and the stormwater management. First, there have been reported sewage backups in the basements in the immediate neighborhood. The city has previously had to power flush local sewers. Residents were advised that one contributing concern was additional development in this older, mature area where the existing infrastructure was designed for fewer and smaller homes. We also understand from the previous owners at 38 Jerseyville Road West, the site of proposed development, they experienced a substantial sewer backup shortly before the property was sold. These experiences raise reasonable questions. Can the existing sanitary infrastructure safely accommodate the additional demand created by 6 new residences? Before approving the increased density facilitated by these variances, we respectfully ask that the city confirm, based on appropriate engineering information, that sufficient sanitary capacity exists and the additional demand will not increase risk to existing residences. Our second significant concern is stormwater management. Approximately 7% of this property is proposed to be covered by roofing, asphalt, or concrete. Soil can absorb water only if water can reach it. With this amount of hard surface, more runoff will have to be collected and managed by the proposed private system. This is particularly concerning because drainage problems already occur along this part of Jerseyville Road. Water gathers, submerging portions of sidewalks and culverts, including the area in front of our driveway. In winter, that water freezes, creating hazard to pedestrians and vehicles. The development must demonstrate that it will not make an existing drainage problem worse. The topographic information appears to show that the property is falling from approximately 251.5 meters to approximately 249.84 meters towards its southwest quarter. Much of that elevation change appears to occur in the rear half of the property. That's even more drastic. Appendix 2 that was just shared with you from our written submission illustrates what is located behind the subject property. There is a commercial plaza. Directly behind the property, there's waste collection areas, tenant service entrances to their units, including a restaurant that's there, a pharmacy. Also directly behind is St. Anne's Elementary School property and children playground. These photographs demonstrate why the emergency overflow route matters. If the private system reaches or exceeds its capacity, where will the water go? What safeguards will prevent it from flowing towards these properties and our own? Our understanding, there is no municipal stormwater sewer along this portion of Jerseyville Road. If that is correct, the proposed private system and its ability to manage major extreme rainfall events becomes even more important. The proposal relies on an underground aquabox infiltration storage system. By way of background, I founded and continue to operate Canada's largest high-density polyethylene pipe distribution company. In ADS, the manufacturer Aquabox is one of my suppliers. I therefore had the opportunity to discuss this type of system with a member of the manufacturer's engineering department. Those discussions reinforce that the system's performance depends on site-specific factors, including soil and groundwater conditions, and that there are soil conditions in which this type of system may not be recommended. The developed material indicates that the site's actual infiltration capacity may be determined later through in situ testing. Later is too late. The soil infiltration rate and groundwater conditions should be established through actual site testing before these variances allowing greater density are approved. The system's capacity and emergency overflow strategy should then be evaluated using those verified conditions, not assumptions. We also request clarification concerning the system's location relative to existing property lines. Are the setbacks consistent with above ground water storage? What impact would they have on neighboring basements? Long-term responsibility is equally important. This system must continue to function for decades through changes in home ownership. The Aquabox system is relatively new and does not have decades of historical reliability. The manufacturer's literature calls for regular inspection, maintenance, cleaning, including annual inspection and inspection following extreme weather events. Who will be legally responsible for that work? Who will pay for the repairs or replacement? Where will every component remain accessible if located beneath private backyards? What will prevent future owners from planting trees, constructing sheds, or making other alterations that interfere with the system? The manufacturer did state that root infiltration could damage the system. These responsibilities should be clearly established and demonstrated before approval. As Maria explained, we are not opposed to reasonable development. A less intensive proposal such as 3 detached bungalows with the front bungalow oriented towards Jerseyville Road and appropriate setback would be more compatible with the streetscape. It would also reduce hard surface coverage and allow greater natural infiltration and provide more flexibility to manage stormwater safely. Additional concerns have been raised by neighbors, written submissions, and the 5-minute speaking limit does not allow us to repeat each one. We respectfully ask that the committee to give it all those submissions careful consideration. In conclusion, we ask that the committee not approve the variances in their present form. Alternatively, we ask that the decision be deferred until the noted concerns are addressed. Thank you. And one other comment, I did see that in the last day or so, this was more recent, development engineer also put up a notice that they cannot support the increased lot coverage based on a lot of the concerns I brought forward with water management. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Come on. Yeah, and then through the chair, of course, just letting everyone know we have a 5-minute speaking limit, but of course it's at the discretion of the chair if they wanted to waive that or not, or keep with it. Yeah, yeah. Please provide your name and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Allison Fisher. I'm one of 46 close neighbors of 38 Jerseyville Road West who have signed this petition I'm presenting to you. Dear community, excuse me, dear committee members, we, the undersigned residents and property owners neighboring 38 Jerseyville Road West, formally write to register our strong objection to the minor variance application for 38 Jerseyville Road West, which requests relief for minimum lot area, minimum lot width, minimum lot setback from the lot line, minimum setback from flankage lot line, maximum lot coverage, porch deck and canopy encroachment limits, minimum landscape area limits, and minimum landscaped area for tree protection limits. We believe the application does not satisfy the requirements of Section 45 of the Planning Act for the following reasons. It is not minor. The scale of the relief requested is substantial and will create an overconcentration of buildings on a lot of this size. This application, with 8 requests for exemptions to Hamilton zoning bylaws, seriously stretches the definition of minor variance. Each of these requests is significant. Taken together, this application proposes major and substantial alteration of the size of lot and maximum lot coverage allowed by the Hamilton official plan. The fact that the proposal includes mentions that additional variances may be required on 3 additional issues stretches this definition further. It will have adverse impact. The proposed construction of 6 single detached dwellings, where 1 now sits, decreases to minimum lot size allowed by Hamilton bylaws and increases in ratio building to green space and decrease in protection for trees will directly and negatively impact the neighborhoods of 38 Jerseyville Road West. These proposals will result in increased traffic congestion, severe loss of backyard privacy, blocked sight lines, shadow impacts of adjacent properties, and affect the nature and character of this older neighborhood. It falls, and third, it fails intent of bylaw and Hamilton official plan. This application for minor variances runs contrary to the general intent of Hamilton zoning bylaw and urban rural Hamilton official plan, which are designed to protect the uniform layout and spacing of our community. Proposing to replace 1 house with 6 single detached dwellings while shrinking lots, shrinking yards and green space and maxing out coverage would violate the intent and purpose of Hamilton's planning rules and purpose. The proposed construction would be a major intensification, combining decreased lot sizes, minimal front setbacks, and high lot coverage, creates compounding massive footprint. This scales completely out of the realm of a minor tweak, both to what already exists on the street and to the Hamilton bylaws created to protect neighborhoods from such overconstruction and drastic changes to neighborhoods in which people live. Minimized setbacks push buildings too close to the street line, disrupting the established streetscape. Increased lot coverage reduces green spaces, leaves less room for natural water drainage, and creates a crowded environment. Decreased lot sizes bypass the standard density limits set specifically for this zone. We respectfully request that the Committee of Adjustment refuse this application as proposed. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, yeah, please step up. Please provide your name and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thanks.
Great. Thanks, Justin. Hello, my name is Jennifer Crow, and my husband and I live at 30 Jerseyville Road West, which shares the easterly boundary with 38 Jerseyville. So to put some scope around that, we have a common property line of 114 meters or 318 feet. So people like myself who still think in feet. So we have vested an interest, we have a vested interest from the street perspective, as well as an immediate neighbor. And James and I have submitted a written objection, which I'm sure you've already read, that speaks to the variances that have been requested. So while many residents on the street have lived here for a long time, James and I moved here 7 years ago. We were looking for a place to retire as our Port Credit community in Mississauga was undergoing increased densities and intensification. Ancaster matched our requirements, especially the walkability of this neighborhood, and our home is designed to allow us to age in place with a lovely yard and garden to enjoy. So you know a bit about how we ended up here and why we have a concern about the intensification being proposed for next door. We're not against additional housing, and in fact, we're pleased to see that these are single detached homes and bungalows that are being proposed. Our main concern is the requests before the Committee of Adjustment today are not minor in nature and a substantial departure, excuse me, from the large lot R2 intent by not meeting the minimum lot area, the minimum lot width, and on top of that, requesting increased lot coverage. The 6 lots are collectively requiring significant departures from the zoning framework intended for this area, and the stormwater issue has already been covered before. So cumulatively, these variances look a lot like a pathway to building large homes on small lots. And we all know what that looks like, which is nothing like Jerseyville Road today, with its variety of architectural styles, ages of homes, and footprints ranging from modest homes, such as the one we live in, to ones that are significantly larger, yet proportional in size to the lot. The cohesiveness and character of our community is achieved by similar setbacks, mature trees, and landscaping. We are concerned about the loss of sunlight and increased shading in our home and backyard, as well as having 6 backyards that are abutting along our property line. The increased daily living activities from those backyards, the sounds from heating and air conditioning units, the lighting from the laneway, the porches, the motion security lights, to name a few. And in the absence of any concept drawings and information about elevation, height, roof lines, grading being shared with us, we cannot meaningfully assess the requested variances and their impact without knowing the resulting built form. The one glaring aspect we can visualize, though, is that Lot 1 is essentially a house perpendicular to the street with its backyard in our front yard. You would have seen that in the photo submission that we had in our attachment. So among the many submissions made in response to this application, there are other approaches and solutions worth considering. Let's work together to find a way forward that respects the intent of the R2 zoning, maintains the character of our neighborhood, and creates a positive precedent that both the community and the developer can be proud of for years to come. I would respectfully ask the Committee of Adjustment to table this application to provide the community with additional time to understand the revised proposal, including the built form and site impacts, and for Urban Solutions to work with the community toward a solution that respects both the intent of the R2 zoning and the established character of Jerseyville Road. So thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Was there any other members of the public who wish to speak? Okay. Then I'll ask, if not, I'll ask the applicant or agent, please step forward. Please provide your name and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Good morning, members of committee, staff, and the public. My name is Matt Johnston, registered professional planner with Urban Solutions. Here on behalf of the owner of the application, I'm joined by Mr. Andrew Smith, a professional engineer, also retained by the owner, who will be available for any questions. Mr. Long, I did provide a PowerPoint presentation. I'm hoping you could put on the screen, and I'll walk the committee and the public through the
Just give me a
proposal.
moment.
Thank you. Great, thank you. If we could go to the next slide, please. Oh, sorry, no, the previous. Thank you, yes. So yes, the subject property, as we know, 38 Jerseyville Road West, just a little over an acre in size, a rather large parcel with 131 feet of frontage, 389 feet in depth, with an existing single detached home. Next slide. Just a little bit of community context. We've heard a little bit about the area. And yes, the property does back onto the commercial properties fronting Wilson Street in proximity to St. Anne's Elementary School, a little west of the village core. Next slide. From an official plan perspective, the lands are designated neighborhoods on Schedule E, as well as neighborhoods on Schedule E1. This is an important consideration in that the policy direction prescribes 30% of all intensification for the city of Hamilton to occur within its established neighborhoods. The designation also permits the full range of housing forms and types and tenure. Next slide. We're located in the low-density residential large lot 2 zone. This is a relatively new zone category that's been established. It applies to the broader area as well as the subject property. And as a result of these new changes to the zoning, townhouses, semi-detached dwellings, and single detached dwellings are all permitted uses as of right within this zone. Next slide. I mentioned it's a new zone brought forward in 2024 for the purpose of accommodating intensification. Removing the exclusionary zoning was done with intent by the City of Hamilton Council in order to support intensification like what's proposed today. Next slide. Those as of right permissions with our existing property could accommodate as many as 6 townhouses across the Jerseyville frontage, having a minimum lot width of 6 meters. Of course, semi-detached and singles are also permitted as well. Next slide. We heard a little bit about alternate proposals, and there have been alternate proposals considered. Proposals where the as of right street townhouses were proposed along the Jerseyville frontage with singles in the back. There are more intense versions of the proposal that have been considered. And in recognition of the context, the proposed development shown on the next slide is what we're pursuing. This development has been refined on a number of occasions in advance of the submission and once the submission was made. I believe originally we were near 14 variances prior to a submission, continued to work and refine the plan and the built forms, minimize the lot coverage, increase the side yard setbacks in order to eliminate variances. We then applied for an application with a total of 8 variances, another round of revisions, getting those down to 6 variances in total. And I'll roll through them quickly. Next slide is variance number 1. for the minimum lot area. 630 square meters is required, 515 is proposed. And that's well and above the as of right minimum lot size of a townhouse, which is also permitted on the property. Next slide is variance number 2, a reduction in lot frontage from 18 meters to 16.5. That's over a 60-foot lot that we're proposing in 2026. Arguably unheard of in today's state, in today's age. Again, representing a modest level of intensification as envisioned by the official plan and zoning. Next up is our increase in lot coverage from 35% to 45%. I'll touch on that in a bit more detail later. We also have the reduction of a canopy projection. So what we've done is we've limited the size of the canopy to 29 square meters to ensure that it's no larger than what's shown on the screen. And it's specific only to a canopy, not a deck or a elevated living space. So it's at grade patio with a covered porch. Next slide is our last variance, number 6. And I note that variance 6 is only applicable to the first lot, and it really accounts for the driveway configuration that's required from a transportation perspective. And it's a modest decrease from 50% to 48%. All in all, the next slide is just a brief summary of the 4 tests that we're required to consider in evaluating minor variances. Next slide, I'd like to just get at things from a planning process a little bit. Next slide, Justin. Shown on the screen here is formerly 15 Church, which was a single detached home that initiated an approval process for 6th Street townhouses in 2020. Back in 2020, this level of intensification required an official plan amendment, a zoning bylaw amendment, ultimately an Ontario Land Tribunal hearing, resulting in a 4-year process. The purpose, again, of the R2 zone that was introduced in 2024 was specifically to alleviate this type of situation and encourage this type of intensification. The policy framework has changed with intent to support applications like this. We now move to the next slide. And I have 2 recent minor variances on the screen that this committee considered within the last year and a half or so. 28 Oakley, an application for street townhouses on Oakley Court, just on the south side of Wilson, in relative proximity to the proposal. That application received a positive staff report. It was denied by the Committee of Adjustment and later rubber stamped by the Ontario Land Tribunal 6 months later, and at a cost of probably shy of $100,000 delay, just in Ontario Land Tribunal proceedings. Similarly, 40 Church, positive staff report recommending approval, denied by the Committee of Adjustment. About 5 months later, we get approval by the Ontario Land Tribunal, again, adding significant cost and delay to applications that are supported by staff and supported by the purposeful changes to the plan to accommodate intensification. Today, we have a positive staff report. We're in full support of the comments within and the changes that have been introduced at the beginning of today's meeting. And I ask you not to send us down the path unnecessarily to an Ontario Land Tribunal hearing only to approve this down the road. It's poor use of staff resources. It's a poor use of taxpayer dollars. And we're asking you to approve the application today as is. We've heard on the next slide, Justin, comments from the public, concerns with regards to, and I respect all of the comments, but we tried to summarize 60 plus pages in a few bullets. Landscaping, privacy impacts, traffic impacts, compatibility and built form, and stormwater management. We've eliminated variances related to landscaping. We have a built form that's permitted as of right, subject to these variances, done in a way to limit privacy impacts. We have a traffic brief submitted in support of the application that looks at trip generation and the access onto Jerseyville. Compatibility and built form have really been evaluated through the introduction of the R2 zone with these minor revisions to the bylaw. And then we've heard a bit about stormwater management. I'll go to the next slide. Stormwater management, probably most related to the variance associated with lot coverage. As noted in Mr. Andrew Smith's professional engineering report, this is sandy loam soil, ideal for it's well draining, suitable for ground infiltration. The AquaBox storage solution for stormwater management is an entirely acceptable engineering approach, a low impact development feature intended to accommodate stormwater management. The conclusions of the report confirm the proposed layout can be adequately serviced from a stormwater based on the use of low impact development infiltration. These measures for stormwater management are secured through future planning applications. That was a matter that was touched on by Mr. Panofsky at the start of the presentation. Those features will be secured through future Planning Act applications. We had questions from the area resident with regards to responsibility and future maintenance. The benefit of the proposal here is that a common element condominium will be established, and those elements can be secured through the condominium corporation taking responsibility for maintenance. And with that, it concludes my presentation. Again, we ask you to
Protection of overflow.
So for protection of overflow, and I'll grant our report as it was presented didn't get into this, but we want to make clear that there will be opportunities for further review and refinement of the design. But for overflow, basically the stormwater is directed to groundwater infiltration, and we would do in situ testing of the soils prior to the construction to verify all the infiltration rates and to use that information to size the boxes. We do believe there is space on the property for these boxes in various locations, and they'll be under the purview of the condo. For spill, if you had a major event or back-to-back events, it would be overland flow, and the city development engineering, they brought forward the comment at the beginning of the meeting regarding directing that flow to the street or to an appropriate outlet. So we would work through the grading design to make sure that the water is not impacting any surrounding property. It would be directed to the municipal right-of-way and protect the local properties.
Okay, in regards to the overflow issue, you've read development engineering's telling that they can't support the increased lot coverage in that because of the overflow, what this gentleman here was talking about.
Through the chair to the committee, I believe what Mr. Panofsky was doing was providing additional details that now allow engineering to support the proposal as presented, as they rely on the future applications for the detailed design of the system proposed.
Okay.
So that's an update to the second posting online of comments.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I didn't quite hear everything that was said about that.
Well, I'd like to just make a quick, can I? So with this application, it looks like, excuse me, the applicant has worked with the city on these conditions, so there are a number. I think the notion that it's going to go to the Ontario Land Tribunal and simply be approved is just a fact. So I don't see a reason to deny this application. I'd like to make a motion to approve it.
Okay, just before I accept that, I just want to make sure if there's any more questions. Okay, Jonica?
Yeah. So I personally don't think that this is desirable for the neighborhood. In the event that, let's just say, the committee would like you to table to see if you could change this development. Would you be willing to do that, or would you want a yes or a no today?
Through the chair, we have evaluated different variations of built form, and this is a preferred built form, and we'd ask you to make a decision based on today's proposal. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay.
Have you had any input from the neighbors that have affected the outline proposal for today?
Through the chair, the changes that have been made, again, I mentioned when we first landed on six lots on a private road, we had 14 variances that were going to be required. Through consultation with staff, it was understood that we needed to do more to improve the application, and we worked hard to do that. That got the number of variances down from 14 to 8 in our formal submission. So the first thing that went in formally was 6 lots requiring 8 variances. In efforts to continue to improve the plan from an engineering perspective and from just a general open space and compatibility perspective, we eliminated variances with regards to side yard setbacks, tree planting requirements. Those were the 2 variances that were eliminated. By eliminating those, we also had a positive impact on other variances that are still required, but the magnitude of those variances decreased. So there's been a number of small but important revisions to the application to improve things in response to the feedback that we're hearing. Thank you.
So at the end of the day, you have taken some of the input from the neighborhoods or the neighbors into the design that we have in front of us.
No, not at all. There has been no consultation, no discussion.
And I do have a comment about the aqua box because I think it's very important.
Through the chair, just to reiterate the procedure in the meetings, the members of the public speak first, and then the applicant, and then the committee will have their deliberations. Unless the committee asks any of the applicant or the members of the public for further comment, then please don't comment. Thank you.
In response to the question, I agree, there hasn't been direct dialogue between Urban Solutions and the surrounding neighborhood. The revisions and the important changes that have taken place are really in response to liaison with staff with the public interest in mind. So I respect that it hasn't generated support, but the changes were made in attempts to, again, mitigate the magnitude of the variances as well as the number of variances in response to the broader concerns.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed that there hasn't been any consultation with the neighbors because they're the ones going to be affected by this at the end of the day. I know in my previous life, if I was in development of or construction of a project, I made sure I went around to find out what the if and ors or buts were about. I'm surprised that hasn't been done here, so.
Okay, if there's no more questions, Nick, I'll accept your motion for approval. Okay, is there a seconder? We'll call one more time. Oh, Donna, you're seconding it? Okay. So all in favor of the motion for approval? And deny or oppose? 3 opposed. So that,
Sorry, who was opposing? Sorry, it was.
Mel, Robert.
No,
and,
yeah, okay. So then the motion would be defeated. Okay.
So that motion is defeated.
Sorry, through the chair, is there another motion on the floor?
As you're looking for a yay or nay, I will make a motion to deny this application.
Okay, motion on the floor for denial. Is there a seconder for that? Mel? All in favor of denial? And opposed to that? 2 opposed. So the motion is carried and the application is denied.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Through the chair, we did have one more application to be heard, and then we were going to take a break. Did you want to take a break now, or did you want to hear that?
Did you have any correspondence with 631?
Yeah, Anna, no. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, want to have a break now and then we'll come back?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know, 5,
10 minutes.
Okay, we'll take a break now, and then we'll come back. We'll reconvene around 11:35 a.m., okay? Thank you.
the meeting? Have everyone's,
Sorry, through the chair, yes.
we had everyone's attention, please?
Yes.
We'll reconvene.
Yeah. We now, next, we have a minor, we have a minor variance application, A2026-00258, 1842 King Street East, Hamilton. Owner is NHDG Quad Incorporated, E. Van Cleef. Applicant is the same company, and the agent is Urban Solutions Planning and Land Development Consultants Incorporated, and Johnston. Just, I don't know if this person wanted to speak. I'll just, we had an interested party, Randy McClellan. You here? Either in the meeting room or on WebEx. Okay, let me just check here. Just give me a moment. Okay. Okay, since they're not here, I'll then ask the applicant or agent, please step forward. And you have please provide your name and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Musical chairs. Good morning, committee members. My name is Scott Beatty. I'm a registered professional planner with Urban Solutions. Nice to be here today on behalf of New Horizon Development Group Quad Inc. for the minor variance application at 1842 King Street East. I have read the city staff report and am in support of their recommendation for approval. I do have a presentation, but I know we're a little bit behind today, so I'm happy to forego that presentation and instead just answer any questions the committee might have.
Okay, thank you. The committee, any committee members have any questions? Pretty much straightforward. Is there a motion? Donica?
I'll make a motion to approve the application with the proposed notes, with the revised variants as well.
Okay, seconded by Mal. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none? Motion carried, application approved.
Thank you, committee.
Okay. It's now 11:45 a.m. Next, we have a minor variance application, A2026-00262, 311 Keswick Court, Hamilton. Owner is A. Fraser, I. Fraser, and D. Zimmerman. Applicant is A. Fraser and I. Fraser. Agent is Sarah Brown Home Design Incorporated, S. Brown. Are there any members of the public who wish to speak on this application, either here in the meeting room or on WebEx? Okay, seeing none, I'll ask the applicant or agent, please step forward. Please provide your name and you have 5 minutes to speak. Oh, sorry. I believe development planning wanted to speak first on this one. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yep. Through the chair, staff have reviewed the comments provided by the Niagara Escarpment Commission. Staff are unable to support the proposed variance as it has been identified that the Niagara Escarpment Plan does not permit detached accessory dwelling units in their plan area. The lands are designated urban area in the NEC plan and are within the development control of the city of Hamilton. Urban Hamilton official plan policy C.1.1.1 identifies if there's a discrepancy between the official plan and the Niagara Escarpment plan, the most restrictive policy will prevail. In this circumstance, the Niagara Escarpment policy is more restrictive in that it does not permit detached accessory dwelling units. As such, staff are not able to support the variance. Thank you.
I have a question to that, and I don't know if you can answer it or not. There is an existing ADU on the property now.
Sorry, my name is Sarah Brown. For the owners, there's an existing garage which the owners would like to put an addition on and then convert the garage and the addition to an ADU. So there's an existing building, but it is currently a garage that you can't park a car inside of it right now. But so it's basically just a storage building.
So in other words, the ADU new is being attached to the existing
Garage.
Garage.
Yeah, and then the garage will be converted as part of the ADU. It'll be one building.
Okay.
So can we hear from the agent? Go ahead.
Sure. I was not aware of this recent development, so basically we were in support of staff's recommendation, including the conditions for the tree protection plan and the landscape plan. So I'm not sure where to go from here. I'm sorry. I'm a little surprised.
Yes, just through the chair, yes. I believe the Niagara Escarpment Commission comments came in on August 24th, and then immediately after, we did post it on the website as well. Yeah.
What threw me off here was on the drawing, it says existing ADU building on the drawings, accessory dwelling unit. So I interpret it as addition to an existing ADU, which conflicts again with NEC.
Right.
But
So
if that was an existing ADU, which is on the drawing here,
yeah.
I might have a different opinion, but if it is a garage and a garage only,
Yes. That's
then we have a problem.
right.
Okay. Comments from staff on this?
That's what I was going to ask.
Good morning, through you, Chair. Spencer Skidmore, Acting Manager of Development Planning, East Team. So this one, we've had this once before. It's a bit of a, I'll say, a quirk in our policy and in our zoning bylaw, in that the way the Niagara Escarpment Plan is set up, it applies development criteria to the entire plan area. So that applies to like rural lots in the escarpment area equally as it applies to like these types of lots in the urban area. It doesn't distinguish between the two. So what it says is the Niagara Escarpment Plan says that you can have ADUs, but they have to be attached. You can't have detached ADUs, and that applies to the entire plan area, the urban area inclusive. Now our official plan does permit ADUs in all designations, and our zoning also permits ADUs. So there's a bit of, I would say, a conflict between our official plan, our zoning, and the Niagara Escarpment Plan. With that being said, our official plan has policies that say where there is a conflict, the NEP, which is a provincial document, prevails. So from a land use planning perspective, our comments are there in terms of impact. But from a policy perspective, because the NEP has provided comments and doesn't support it, we're technically unable to support it because our official plan does defer to the Niagara Escarpment Plan and their policy. There has been one other situation where there was a variance for a similar situation. And I believe that one was supported, and I don't believe it was appealed by the Niagara Escarpment Commission, as far as I'm aware. Happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Just for my own personal satisfaction here, if it was, the ADU was attached to the principal dwelling, it would be fine.
Through the chair, that's correct. The NEP only permits ADUs that are attached to the primary dwelling. It does not permit detached ADUs. So if it was attached, it would be permitted and under the Niagara Escarpment Plan and likely our zoning bylaw, depending on setbacks and everything. But that's the distinction. You hit the nail on the head. Thank you.
So the fact that the ADU is attached to the garage doesn't fly. Okay.
Through the chair, that's correct. So it would have to be attached to the primary dwelling to be considered an attached ADU. Thank you.
Okay.
So you understand what's going on? I mean, we can table it, but as a detached ADU, you know the problem.
Yes, and I don't really see how tabling it will change what the owners would like to do with the lot.
Yeah.
Attaching it to the principal dwelling is probably not an option for them. They would like to reuse the existing building that is there and then develop this detached additional dwelling unit for their in-laws and to be on the lot. So attaching it to the principal dwelling is probably not an option.
Not an option.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, we could
I mean-
table it and I could ask them.
I mean, we could table it and you can have that conversation with them.
Yes.
But, and the application sits in
Yes.
limbo. If we deny it, it's denied. and
That's
then
true.
start over,
Yes.
reapply.
Yes. So if that's,
Have you ever talked to the Conservation Authority yet about it?
no, we have not.
Would that be a chance to talk to them and see what you could come up with?
Yes, we could do
Be
that.
willing to do that? Rather than deny it and table it and do it that way?
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
that sounds reasonable to me.
I'll make a motion to table it.
Okay, motion made by Mel, seconded by, I'm gonna say Donna. All in favor? Opposed? One opposed? Nick? So motion's carried, application is tabled.
Thank you very much.
And thank you to the applicant or agent. Staff will be in touch with you shortly in terms of how to proceed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, it is now 11:54 a.m. Next, we have a minor variance application, A2026-00053, 22 Lydia Street, Hamilton. Owner is A. Guvia. Applicant is the same person. Is there any members of the public who wish to speak on this application? Either here in the meeting room or on WebEx? Okay, seeing none, I'll ask the applicant or agent, please step forward and please provide your name and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Good afternoon, committee. I'm applying for a minor variance to an existing garage. And that's it.
Did you have a chance to read the comments that were posted?
I did, and that was discussed earlier, back in July with a few of the members.
Committee? So the minimum setback, they're recommending denial on variance 4.
Which one?
The setback of 0.9 meters from the railway right away.
Okay.
Instead of the requirement that it be 30 meters.
I had spoken to someone, I forget who it was, in regards to that, and they said they looked into the neighborhood. And there was a lot of homes that
are close.
Are in close proximity to the.
Okay. Donna?
Can staff comment on that?
Through Anthony Mancini, Planning Technician 1, through the chair. Staff worked with the applicant on the variances that were requested. This additional variance was identified in the review since it was tabled. Staff are unable to support that variance as it's as the intent is that that 30 meters be provided from a railway. Staff do acknowledge that it's that the applicant could not meet that 30-meter setback, but acknowledge from a policy perspective, staff are unable to support that. I believe it's a 0.9 meter setback to the rail right away. Yeah, thank you.
Through the chair, just to compliment my colleagues' comments on the application. So we do recognize that, a good chunk of this neighborhood is within 30 meters of that rail right of way, and this is just an accessory structure. So the impact and the risk, I think, would be low. However, we're unable to support it as the policy tests under the Planning Act we don't feel that they satisfy it. However, we recognize this is a bit of a unique circumstance where it's a garage, not a structure, and there is a number of encroachments kind of throughout the neighborhood within that 30 meters, including the existing dwelling on the property, which is just set back a similar distance. But with that being said, we're unable to support it because it doesn't meet the technical test under the Planning Act. Thank you.
So just so you understand that this is a situation, that's why the committee's here.
Right.
The policies are in place and planning has to follow policies that are there.
Absolutely.
And that's why this committee of adjustment is here to look at gray areas that
Of course,
make sense.
of course.
In saying that, does the committee, Yanni?
Yeah, I would like to say with the explanation of variance 4, seeing that there would be no ability to do anything on that property and seeing that it is an accessory structure, I would make a motion to approve the application for all 4 variances.
Okay. Is there a seconder for that motion? Bob? All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, motion carried, application approved.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Okay, it is now 11:59 a.m. And we have 2 applications there related to each other, so I'm assuming the committee would want to hear them together.
Yep.
So first is a consent, B2026-00243, 1219 Highway number 8, Stony Creek. Owner is Brent Haven, Winona Hills Incorporated, T. Olimni, apologize if I mispronounced your name. Applicant is the same company. And then we also have an associated minor variance application, A2026-00244, same address, same owner, and same applicant. Just want to check, we did have an interested party. I don't know if they're here. Gloria Marconato, are you here? Okay, just wanted to check if she was attending. Okay, since she's not here, is there any other members of the public who wish to speak on this application, either in the meeting room or on WebEx? Okay, seeing none, I'll ask the applicant or agent, please step forward. Please provide your name and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you. Oh, sorry, which? Yeah, which application are you here for? Oh, you're here for the next one. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. You could take a seat. Thank you. I thought you were here for this current application. Okay. Sorry to the applicant or agent. Please provide your name and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Hello, members of the committee. My name is Tomadi Alani. I'm the applicant and represent the owner regarding the concurrent consent and minor variance applications for Block 51. It's located within the Winona Hills subdivision, municipally known as 1219 Highway number 8. I've reviewed staff report and conditions, and I'm happy with the recommendations for approval. Thank you, and I'm available to answer any questions.
Okay. Does the committee have any questions on, we'll deal with both these at once. No questions? Motion?
I'll make a
Yanni?
motion to approve the severance as well as the minor variance with all the proposed conditions and the notes.
Okay, seconded by Bob.
And Anna, did we have to provide an update on this one in terms of the conditions? Is there not a? Yes, yeah, through the chair, just to update the committee, there was a condition that was missed there on the staff comments. For the consent application, there's actually an administration fee. That's for the creation of the lot that we didn't include. So just, unless there's any questions about that, yeah. That just wanted you to be aware of that. Yeah, it's typically, let me see if I can find wording for that. You may have seen it in other consent applications. Let me see if I can find one. Okay,
So to the agent, there's one additional condition.
Oh, there it is. Oh, and there's, yeah. The owner submits to the Committee of Adjustment Office an administration fee payable to the City of Hamilton to cover the cost of setting up a new tax account for each newly created lot. Committee of Adjustment section. And I believe generally that's usually around $20.
Okay, that includes that condition. And Robert, you seconded it, right? All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, motion carried, application approved. Both.
Thank you.
Okay, it is now 12:03 PM. We now have a consent application, B2026-00210, 8155 Chippewa Road West, 8155 Chippewa Road East, Glanbrook. Purchaser B Kwan Soon and T Kwan Soon. Owner is GLP Dundas Incorporated. Applicant is Ashenhurst Nowens and Associates Incorporated, H. Kalantzikos. Apologize if I mispronounced the name. Agent is the same company. Is there any members of the public who wish to speak on this application, whether in the meeting room or on WebEx? Okay. Seeing none, I will, I'll ask the applicant or agent to step forward. Please provide your name and you have 5 minutes to speak. Thank you. Yeah, that's you. Yeah.
Yep.
Is the agent on there?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see him here on WebEx. As Harry?
Harry.
Yeah, if you want to unmute yourself. And,
can you hear me?
yes.
Yes.
Hi there, Harry Kalantzakos representing the purchaser and seller. We've received the comments and we are proposing to table it since there's no public comments to address the comments with the city.
Okay, so your wishes are to table at this time?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Make a motion to table the application.
Is there another option or no?
It's, well, through the chair, yeah, it's up to the applicant if you, how you wish to proceed. Staff are recommending tabling, but it's your application, so ultimately it's your
Honestly,
decision.
I hired the planner, so I don't know the process very well. Truck driver by trade. And, so
I don't know if you want to speak with the planner or offside maybe, or.
if tabling is the best course of action, I know for me, we have a deadline with the seller for November 5th. So we're just trying to abide by that. We're trying to get by that deadline. And like I said, I don't know the process very well. So I didn't know if there's anything I can do, because I don't know, let me know, but I can help make it move along.
Yeah, it's, so a recommendation from planning is to table and then have a conversation with them and see if, you can get different comments or favorable comments.
Yeah, whatever can help me get that.
Yeah, Robert?
I'm just curious why the reason for tabling via staff.
Good afternoon, Spencer Skidmore, Acting Manager, Development Planning East Team. Through the chair, sorry, I'm getting some feedback. Through the chair, there's 2 reasons for tabling. The first is, so lot line adjustments are permitted for legal or technical reasons. They've identified, I believe the legal technical reason would be that it's an undersized lot and they want to increase it to meet our minimum lot size for private on-site servicing. The issue is there's also criteria for that say, one of the things is it's okay, but there can't be further fragmentation of a natural heritage feature in terms of ownership. And there is a natural heritage feature identified on the site per our natural heritage planner. So we just want to chat with them to determine whether that fragmentation, kind of the extent of it, whether there's going to be any impacts, that kind of thing. So that's one item. And I think that can be resolved hopefully through a discussion with natural heritage planning and perhaps a meeting with the applicant's planner. The other item is, so the portion of the lands to be added or conveyed are existing industrial zoning. And if the applicant, I think currently there is some residential accessory structures like a gazebo and stuff on there. And those technically wouldn't be permitted because they support a residential use. So we would have to talk about potentially removing those accessory structures as they wouldn't conform with the underlying zoning. So that's another discussion item we'd have to have with the applicant. Thank you.
My apologies on that if I missed it, if it's in the notes. So, okay.
Okay, motion for table. You got it?
I'll make a motion to table the application.
Okay. Seconder, Donna? All in favor to table? Opposed? Seeing none, motion carried, application tabled. We've got to go back to,
Thanks. Yes, through the chair, yes, that was, I believe it's,
631.
yes, it was a minor variance, so it's now 12:08 PM. And we're returning to a previous minor variance application that's on the agenda, A2026-00215, 631 Highway number 8, Flamborough. Owner is Jay Johnson. Applicant is R&R Designs Limited, Arcana. Agent is the same company. Just to let the committee know, we did attempt through email to contact them. And we also had a staff member call as well, and we didn't get a response. So I'll leave it to the committee how you wish to proceed with this application.
So it's, excuse me, favorable comments, a couple of conditions, but if I'm right. What's the wishes of the committee? You want to grant this one?
Make a motion to approve the application with the proposed conditions and notes in their absence.
Okay, seconded by Mel, all in favor? Opposed? Seeing none, motion carried, application approved.
Thank you, and through the chair, we will notify the applicant about that, applicant region. Next to, it's now 12:09 PM. Chair and staff announcements. So Chair, do you have any announcements to the committee? No? Okay. Yes, and then
Next meeting is?
the next meeting is, I believe it's September 17th, yeah. And then through the chair, we did send you, a decision has been made by the Ontario Land Tribunal for, it was a consent and minor variance application for 178 Orchard Drive. And I believe the committee denied those applications, and then the applicant appealed it to the OLT. And the OLT has now approved the applications with conditions. So we've circulated the decision to you so you can review it when you have time. And if you have any questions, you can always contact us. Another thing we're going to let you know, starting in September 17, you'll start noticing a change in our agenda. Currently, you see we have a time associated with each application, what time it's going to be heard.
Right.
We're going to be taking that out. Yeah, and it was just determined through staff, it would just help in terms of the overall efficiency of running the meeting. Yeah.
Okay.
On the 17th, on the 17th, I'll probably be in Walkerton. If I can be online.
Yeah, you can participate
I don't
virtually
think I can
if
be
you want.
back.
Yeah, you can participate virtually if you want, yeah. Okay.
It's international plowing match is what it,
Okay.
Wasn't ready. And if there wasn't anything else, motion to adjourn.
Motion for adjourn. Mel,
Mel.
do you need a seconder?
Donna second? Okay.
All in favor?
So we are adjourned at 12:11.